Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would agree that the paper does say that. I would also say that, again, it's the illustration of getting the horse before the cart. It is applying to the Planning Commission, and I guarantee you, the first question they ask is, do you own the land? The Planning Commission, or the Planning Department, excuse me, asks that question. You don't own the land, you don't submit, you don't sell the bonds, you don't do all of the things in the errors that you've made up to this point. You don't do that. The Planning Department doesn't allow you to do that. You as a body, and you confirmed it, going to be appealed to yourselves. Great decision. You're the same people that are going to hear the appeal. Makes a lot of logic. A lot of logic. I hope that you carefully consider your actions.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else wishing to give testimony on the purchase and sale agreement of the Canby utility property? Okay. Is there discussion and/or a motion?
Well, we need to have a motion before we have discussion.
Yeah, well, that probably would
I've
be.
been burned by that, see, I'm
Yeah, I
beyond
think
that.
that's, yeah. If someone would make a motion, then we will have discussion, take a vote.
I would move that we accept motion URR 13-007, a resolution approving a purchase and sale agreement between the Canby Urban Renewal Agency and the Canby Utility Board to purchase property for the new library project.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coleman, second by Commissioner Parker, to approve Resolution URR 13-007, a resolution approving a purchase and sale agreement between the Canby Urban Renewal Agency and the Canby Utility Board to purchase property for the new library project. Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Chair. My discussion is surrounding the fact that we're talking about incurring more debt. I believe it was Ms. Enderle's testimony earlier this evening in the previous meeting that we want the library to be on time and on budget. We're already not on budget if we're going to add another $1.2 million or whatever the interest may be on a different option. So we've already blown the budget before we even turn to shovel, and I'm not for incurring more debt without the people's voice. I also think this is, again, without a funding mechanism already decided upon. Deciding on a purchase agreement is, again, putting the proverbial cart before the horse, and we keep going down this path in erroneous manner, and it's ridiculous. That's my opinion, and I'm against this resolution for those reasons.
Tracy, I will thank you for your comments, and again, I am not for doing this. I think that what we are doing, we should have had this dialed in and locked down at the beginning, and bonded it correctly. And now I think we're taking more money and trying to get us out of the situation, and that is a big concern for me. It just that doesn't seem to keep us. It just we're trying to cover up something that we should have taken care of at the beginning, and I don't see that putting in another $1 million is the right thing to do. That's my opinion.
I'd just like to add that I think that, there's been some real traction in the downtown, the Front Avenue projects, the facade improvements, the building out of the industrial park. And I think that, if you think about what attracted you to this community or what might attract someone to this community in the future, I think a library is a very important investment in your community. And I think that, if you're trying to attract an industry, they look under the hood of what you have in your community. And I think that, well, our library has wonderful people. It's an out-of-date facility. And I think that, it's very unfortunate that the community is being held hostage. We're entitled to a good quality police and fire and library. It's a very important part of the community. This is a very dangerous game you're playing with interest rates at about the lowest point they're likely going to be in our lifetime. And to say that this project is going to be cheaper in the future, I think is a big mistake. And I think that, this downtown area is trying to create an atmosphere where people come down here, they get out of their car, they walk around, they see what's here. And if you want proof of that, come down here during the car show in the summertime. And I am tickled to think that when the people come down this year to that car show, they're going to see all of the improvements that have been done in the past year. And they're going to see that we were really getting our act together. And so I think this is a good project. It's been well thought out. I would have preferred a second floor, or at least building it with the foundation for that, putting the city offices on that second floor. Multi-use with residences above would be more appropriate where the current library is. And I think that being able to tap into the expertise of the gal that came to the community and talked about building out downtowns, we got all kinds of opportunity. And you can either, be afraid of the future, or you can get on board and try to make it into the best that it can be. And I think, this is an investment in our community that I think is a very important one.
Chair Ayers,
Oh, go ahead.
to follow up with Commissioner Coleman's comments, I disagree respectfully with the holding hostage. I think we've got there are, I was talking about earlier, there is collateral damage to the things we're talking about here in terms of staff time, Friends of the Library, the fundraising arm, community impact, the paper, whether that's spot on or not, that can be discussed at another time. I too want a state-of-the-art building. But already we've gone through, from the first drawings, we've already scaled back things. We are, we don't know what our guaranteed maximum price is yet for the project. Are we going to sacrifice pieces for City Hall to make sure that the library is all that we need, and therefore now we've put City Hall behind the 8 ball still? You brought up the second floor piece. I think a second floor is absolutely imperative when we talk about taking the city ahead to the future, going, let's build for that growth, let's have it into one building and truly maximize. So why not have that conversation and fight to have that happen? We go further down this road, it's still going to be a one-floor building, and we don't meet those pieces of that second floor. The other aspect is we have a library, and yes, it needs improvements. But the library is also made up of the people that are in it. Penny, I respect Penny and what she has done. She has created great programs. She has created a great staff, and I think that is a bigger piece to the library. The facility would be nice. Yes, it would be and will be nice. It's just a not now. I have, again, the problems with keeping us going down, and it's another $1 million now. Is it going to be another thing down the road? That's where I'm at. So I thank you, sir.
Well, my comments were similar to Commissioner Hodson's. Commissioner Coleman, I agree with you totally. I don't think there's a person on this dais, depending on who you are. I know, some people say it. Anyway, none of us are in a position where we don't want a library. We all want to see a nice library in our town. And this is just going back to the discussions over the months. This is still the wrong plan at the wrong time, and I think that these large obstacles that keep popping up in the way are proof to that. That we're heading down the wrong path. There's so many times that you're given a chance to course correct. I think that that obstacles are put in your way for a reason, and it's to reassess and rethink and reevaluate. And I think this is one of those opportunities that we need to look at the plan and rethink the plan, because this keeps costing more money, more obstacles, more out of order, doing things out of order.
Okay, other discussion? All right, I've been pointed out that we have an issue before we can take this vote.
Yes, we have a couple issues.
Thank you,
So, the budget resolution that was just passed included the capital outlay to make this purchase. However, that was under the assumptions that there was an interfund loan as the revenue piece to balance that budget. So if you vote to make this purchase, then I would agree that the budget that was passed is accurate. However, we also need some sort of resolution or motion to fund it. Otherwise, the budget that is passed is not balanced and is not in compliance with